Oh boy, now this one spawned from the strange mind of Derek. Well, maybe he was using the throne. He's a big fan of the soft seats on the thrones right now,
which I cannot understand.
Despise. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it.
Maybe he's entered a new
old manness.
Yeah.
I don't know. But God bless him.
As long as it's not the fuzzy one.
That my grandma had those too.
I would die.
We want to talk about sort of the Wild West of Guitar Center online shopping, for the pre-owned stuff, the used stuff. It's so much fun.
It's amazing.
I've gotten stuff there. I've bought it from the internet / phone call. I've gone in store to get it. It's fun. I highly encourage everyone to do it. It gives you a chance to go into the biggest guitar shops, like brick and mortar places in the country. Have fun. The dudes that work there are pretty freaking rad.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, you're going to meet like a dud that's just like that corporate has sucked the living joy and happiness out of.
Which happens.
I was reading, and if you haven't looked at Guitar Center shit posting
please
on Facebook,
do. Oh my God, it's the best post ever, best group ever.
Off to the guy who's moderating that, and like the comments are hilarious. Like you know, if you sit on your little padded seat in your throne and just like let the scrolling go. It's just so much fun.
It's great.
So yeah, just buying online is just a tricky thing anyway.
It can be. It's just funny to me that GC, which is so corporate, that is like totally unregulated, like no standard for pictures or descriptions.
I didn't know because you've worked there, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, and then we'll explain it a little bit as we get into it. But like the number one thing that you see is like, it's one of the few things when you click on the photo and enlarge it, it gets smaller, and the photo is so bad. So bad.
And literally the photo. Most of the time it's like one photo.
You might get 2 photos.
No.
But and it's okay, so before we can get into the numbers of this thing, how does this work at the Guitar Center?
When I was, and it could have changed, but
it doesn't seem like
it has. I mean, it just, you had literally an employee or a couple of employees who, when things came in, they had to go get the little camera out of the drawer, put them in the room where you got a little, blanket hanging or whatever and a hook, and you take pictures of the stuff, and they have to write the description, and it's a lot of extra work. To me, it always seemed like a punishment. Like,
because you don't get to monetize this at all, like, or because you're working off commission,
right,
at GC, and like this is no commission based for you at all. Period.
Well, it's time that you're not selling, not making commission, right? And I
can you make commission if those pieces sell?
I feel like no. I feel like in the end, maybe there was a way if it sold online where maybe you got like a tiny sliver. And I could be wrong in this sort of percentage.
I would like tag J-Rob was here,
right,
in the post, so I get some of that.
Yeah, I don't think there was much chance for you to actually just straight up make commission, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay, so that's the background to the Wild West of this. So the pictures, like we've gone through and like we find it hilarious. We have so much fun. But I bought
me some again.
My first pair of boots, I do declare. No, I've gotten an orange rocker verb from Guitar Center, the pre-owned section.
Is that where you got that?
In store.
That's cool.
I got a great, I think I paid like $1,100 or $1,200 or something like way too low for what that amp, because I think knew they were like $25 at the point. Yep. And I was like, that's a steal, I'll take it. And somebody was like, oh. And I also bought my my Vox Top Boost, one of the last ones that was built in the Vox factory when the whole transition to Korg was happening, in the Marshall factories. I mean, it was built in the UK, but I saw that particular one out because I'd played one before and it was like tonal Nirvana.
Yeah.
And I bought it from like the Guitar Center in Maine, I believe. And like, and they actually described, like, he's like, hey, listen, the transformer's kind of like possibly gonna have to be. And I was like, that's cool, we'll figure it out. And I got it, and something I had to change when I forgot. I took it to Bull Durham Sound in Durham with Russ.
But that's a good amp, right?
That amp is good. It's my best Vox.
Yes.
That thing is, like, if you want to get Vox tone, what you think it's supposed to be, that is the amp.
It's that, yeah.
It's like, late 90s, early 2000s.
I need a Vox, maybe.
Maybe you do. That's a whole other video we're going to do. We'll lock arms in arms and go down the Vox train together. I'm a Vox fan.
The Vox Night Train. Yeah.
No.
Greatest amp they ever built.
No, I'm not going to do that one. Well, and Derek was calling, like, he called it GC, was it GCSD? Kind of like PTSD? Like, when you're online, cause like, when you go, he goes like a Guitar Center stress disorder, or syndrome, whatever
it is, yeah.
I can't, PTS, post-traumatic stress
disorder, or whatever. Something, we don't know.
But just like when you're going online, but I had great experiences with mine, but it was fun, but I also have a comic sense of life.
Yeah.
And I enjoy like the whole, and one of my friends who now has a guitar shop, himself, Mark Blasco, I believe he bought. God, this was years ago. I think he bought one. He bought like a real Plexi, like an old '68 or something, Marshall.
No,
for $850.
Jesus.
And they just didn't have it. I think it was him. I can't remember the whole story, but check him out online. He's got a great shop.
Well, in a strange sort of twist of fate and irony, like that might be one of the last places to really go find gear where they don't exactly know where they have. Where they've just like priced it oddly. You know what I mean? Like pawn shop knows they're on it.
Pawn shops price it like way too high. Because that's kind of like when you go to a bodega.
Right.
If you're living in a city, like you're paying for like a gallon of milk way more than you do at a grocery store, and it sort of disenfranchises people that don't make as much money. It's sort of that's one of my sort of wealth inequality things that I have a serious issue with.
But I think because those guys are just trying to get through, like, hey, this is just a task I have to do for a day. I have to list all this crap on the used site. They're just like, bam, 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 bam. Here's what it is. Oh, $900, cool, and it's over. And I don't think there's a ton of oversight. Most of it.
Number 2 thing that we found on there too was like paying more for the used guitar than the new guitar, which happens on like the GC like online universe sometimes. You'll see like new Kramer like $5.99, used Kramer $7.99, just because a mistake was made or somebody's just being like, we paid way too much for it when we bought it.
You see that stuff, yeah.
Back, and we got to sort of recoup on this. The manager's pissed at poor John who screwed up again.
Just one more in the long list.
And like these are we're just sort of, this is a loose list and we're having fun here. Number 3 was buying a guitar
and getting a completely different guitar.
I mean,
I've heard stories of such things with the used stuff,
and we've done this before too.
Well, we have. I mean,
it's so I'm going to call a spade a spade. It's happened, but we did it once, and it was my fault. I think I've talked about it online. It was a PRS, or no, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say which brand it was. Never mind. It wasn't that. It was some other brand, and we shipped it somewhere. I'm not gonna say it was
far away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say where it was because.
And you and I weren't even here. We were gone.
We were at NAMM, and I get this email. I was like, "Hey, this is the wrong guitar." I'm like.
Yeah, dang it.
That is and it wasn't told. It was our fault, but it was also the customers because he's like, I want this blue guitar. I'm like, cool, blue guitar. And like we should and he paid. We got it all sorted. And it was awesome. We had great conversations. It was just the wrong freaking blue guitar.
He was very cool about it too.
I gave him like a huge discount.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, here, it's pretty much you can sell this guitar and make a killing right now where you live. That's far, far away.
Or not.
Silly dealer agreements. I don't know. I mean, West Virginia's a far place away.
It's very far.
I like the awkward when people can't blink their eyes. I can blink my eyes. I think I now my face feels like a twitch. Okay, the number 4 is one that I've seen not once, not twice, but multiple times. The description for the guitar is not written anywhere except for on the gaffer's tape that's taped onto the bridge of the guitar.
Hey.
I think it's hilarious when you see this on the GC.
It's amazing.
It's like, this guitar is like, got a few pieces that are wrong with it, and
headstock broken off.
Yeah. Or just like there's no
whatever.
pins in the acoustic.
Yeah.
I've seen like doesn't come with pins. I'm like, you have pins, just put pins. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
But I get it though. If it's I don't know. I think that's really funny when you see that.
It is funny.
And number 5, this is sort of our last of the number things. It sort of jumps back to the first one of like the photo gets smaller.
Or there's no photo. What I love, the thing that makes me the happiest about this is when you search for a piece of gear like on Google and the sponsored ads, all the first things that come up are Guitar Center used stuff, and there would be like no photos, no descriptions, no nothing. But there's still like the sponsored ad on Google. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like they're paying for that click through because there's like every time you click on that, you're charging Guitar Center.
Click away.
So if I don't like a company, I'll just click on it just to cost them that 0.04.
No intention of buying. No.
That's like people that like write reviews on Yelp just to do it.
You mean like when they couldn't figure out how to open your door?
Oh my God! Yeah, no, that was a Google review that we had at the guitar shop the other day. Someone couldn't get in because they didn't press down on the thumb thing.
We have an actual door.
It's an old-fashioned door handle. They just pulled on it, and we went. And then they wrote a 3-star review later, which we thought was really hilarious.
Which we tried to get to them, but they kind of scurried off. Yeah. But yeah, no, whatever.
Come back.
We're here.
Scarlet.
You gotta push the button and pull. It sticks. It's all building.
We're actually getting a new door handle.
I would never.
I know, that's that phrase goes down in history. No, but the whole not having a picture, then again, I'm going to call a spade a spade. That's us too. Like, we have a limited amount of guys that work here, and we can't get every guitar photographed and online in an expedited way sometimes. We're working on it. We're slowly trying to catch up. But then these stupid guitar companies keep sending us more guitars.
More guitar. And people keep buying them. It's ridiculous. It's a horrible problem.
Rats.
It's a horrible problem.
I feel like Mobile Suit Gundam Season 2. I'm just sad.
I don't know what all those words were, but
Seas of Sorrow.
It's like a Gundam or something.
Yes, it's a Gundam. Gosh darn you.
Is that like a exoskeleton?
I mean, kind of. It's like a mech warrior.
Oh, okay.
Like giant, but a badass one.
Now I'm in. Ooh.
Like fighting like the Principality of Xeon, which I'm a fan of. I'm sort of a Xeon besides the sort of dictatorship thing. But who doesn't like Char? I mean, it's red.
I don't know. I feel like I need to know about these things now.
Dude, it's great. Elijah would like the show, I think. Okay. It's on Netflix right now, and it's in subtitles, though.
I feel like I need to know what Warhammer is, too.
Dude, if Warhammer with Henry Cavill...
Yeah, that's why I need to know.
...happens, I mean,
I'm not
it's got to be better than The Witcher.
Yeah, I mean... Witcher kind of sucks. I for a while I was trying. I was like, oh, it's good. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna be. And now I'm just
because the game is amazing. The story is amazing for The Witcher, and the show's almost amazing. You just want it to be amazing. Like it's not quite there. Really it's like Wheel of Time. Like this is gonna be great,
but it wasn't. No.
And then sometimes things just blow you away. Like Battlestar Galactica. This is probably gonna suck. Holy crap! It's one of the greatest shows ever made.
Yeah. Or the key is low expectation.
Or it's still funny when I meet people that I like Breaking Bad. I'll put Breaking Bad as probably one of the best TV dramas ever. And then I'll meet people that say, I didn't really like it. I'm like, you're stupid.
I just don't understand what you wouldn't like.
There's nothing to not like. Well, I didn't think it was that exciting. Or I just didn't like the subject matter. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm not like a fan of like meth cooking teachers and their drug hoarding friends as well.
Listen, you do what you got to do.
But no, it's not like I've ever been like, that's my genre I like. It's like, that's not a genre.
Everything I can watch on meth. It's great.
I was watching God, what's the guy, the actor? I love him. He's in 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. I just went blank on his name.
The Channing Tatum.
Not Channing Tatum. His comic duo.
Oh,
the great actor. He got the new Netflix documentary Stupid. He was just talking about like he's watching like Game of Thrones now. I saw something like he's telling his friends like I just watched The Red Wedding, and he's like telling everybody about it. He's like, oh my God, and like yeah, dude, that was like 10 years ago. And he's like, I know. I'm just discovering. It's never too late to discover Breaking Bad.
No.
The great seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, not the original series, the reboot that came out in like late 90s, like 99, early 2000s.
So good on the Sci-Fi Network.
Unreal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Unreal. And those writers were great showrunners.
It's true.
I mean, even the first few seasons of Walking Dead is pretty fun.
Fantastic.
Season 2 is a bit slow, but then it picks up again. You're like, whoa, this is amazing. Then you're like, oh, I'm out.
And that's like still going.
They're about to end it. I think Rick's back from what I've heard or whatever. But
shit ended a
sorry, we're talking. I mean, we're pretty much done now. If you're still with us,
yeah, no, we've made our points.
That's awesome. So, and if you're working at Guitar Center, you're still watching us, you get because this is what you're talking about at work right now too. And you're like, shit, I was just in there with those guys. If you eat lunch with us right now, you're like, yes, we're having a great time there. Derek agrees wholeheartedly.
Yes, he does.
He's behind the camera going like, he's going like this. He's going, keep it going. Don't stop. He's like, just make it longer. I'm like,
he's
you
back
got
there
it.
right now.
Like, just make it.
on our behind the camera
so,
toilet.
Arms together. Come. Soft seats. Thanks for joining us. We've had a good time. I think this has been a superb 13 minutes together.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Peace be with you.
Next time.